And welcome into another edition of Tech Talks presented by EGP Document Solutions. Thrilled to welcome back to Tech Talks head coach for your Georgia Tech softball team, Aileen Morales. Coach, visiting with you from Chapel Hill, where your team faces North Carolina this weekend in another ACC series. Thanks so much for joining us. How are you?
Hey, thanks for having me, Andy. Excited to be back and excited to get going this weekend. I think the baseball team's in town too, so we got both Diamond Sports out here in Chapel Hill.
That sounds good. Sounds like a recipe for a lot of wins for Georgia
Yeah.
Tech.
Yep.
Well, ho-hum, just 3 more homers for your guys versus Coastal Carolina earlier this week. That gives you 58 home runs as a team. That's fourth in Division One. And Coach, I'm really curious to know, when did you first have a sense that this could be a prolific home run hitting team? And how much has this power surge maybe even caught you by surprise?
Yeah, I mean, the trip down to Clearwater was a big eye opener for us. I mean, facing great pitching and we hit the crap out of the ball. So I think that was kind of the point of that tournament was to be a big test. And I think the offense rose to the occasion. And that was a huge, just kind of aha moment, I think, for us as a team. Like, all right, we can swing it with the best of them, and just the confidence began to build from there. And so just really cool to see them kind of step into those moments, swing the bat big, not be afraid to fail, and some awesome things happen from that. So yeah, I think kind of that second weekend really gave us a big eye opener for like, okay, we can do this, and we can swing it with the best of them.
You hear the old adage that coaches build their teams in their own image. And you were obviously a very decorated player at Georgia Tech, Aileen, but I don't know if home run hitting power was
Yeah.
necessarily a forte of yours. You
Yeah.
had speed, you had bat control, everything else. So, how much of an adjustment may this year's team be for you, just as a coach, knowing that you've got a lineup up and down that can really launch him?
Yeah. All right, Anthony. Andy, I think you needed to go back on the stats. I think I had about 16 in my career. So I'm going to give you a hard time here. But no, you're spot on with that. Obviously, small ball or being able to run the bases, being able to steal was kind of my forte. I think the biggest challenge as a coach is like if we're swinging the bat like we are, we kind of do have to pull back on the stolen base attempts and understanding what the personnel on the team are. So absolutely, a different style than what I was as a player. But, I was part of some uh, pretty great offensive teams as a player. We had, multiple players with 20 plus home runs on those rosters back in the early 2000s. And so seeing that happen and seeing that with this team has been really cool. And yeah, I've had to coach it a little different, not running into outs, being willing to let us live and die a little bit at times with the long ball. So that's been a huge piece and a huge adjustment for me, but it's a fun position to be in. And so, yeah, I think I looked at the coaches at one point and I was like, I'd usually steal in this situation, but we're just gonna let it ride, and so that's been fun to see and been great for me as a coach to have to, find or fill into that role and understand what our team is.
They're giving you calluses on that hand where you high five them round in third base there following those home
Thank you.
runs. Black and Dobbins have been the main power supply in the middle of that lineup, but I think their success you can chalk up to the work that they put in from the summer to now. How have you seen those two players really grow where they are huge threats now in the middle of your lineup?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think Dobby last year, I mean, she was on a little bit of a tear there until she got hurt on the back end of the season. And so it's nice to see her pick up and just God swing the bat with a ton of intent and with the intent to do damage. And, she's confident up there. And I think, we forget at times how much confidence just bleeds into everything you do. And so yeah, she's always had power. It's been cool to see it kind of just be more consistent, obviously, and her just embrace that role. And Mal Black, man, just kudos to her. And same thing, her senior year, just being willing to go all out and embrace the moment. And so it's been proud of her. They put a ton of work in. So everything that they're getting, is a testament to them, and they've earned those opportunities, and they've earned the opportunity to be in those big moments and to excel in those big moments. And I think that's the beauty of the game. Like this team has been through a lot, like last year, a lot of adversity and being able to use that experience to build this year and not be afraid of failing. And so that to me has been the biggest thing. They've just like, you get them out one time, they're like, so what, I'm gonna get you the next time. And that's kind of what you have to do when you're a hitter at this level, because the odds are that the pitchers are going to get you out a lot more than you get hits off of them. So you got to be able to stay level headed and still put your best swing on the ball, in the seventh or eighth inning, right? When the game's on the line.
Finally, Coach, you're in Chapel Hill, like we had mentioned, as you continue ACC play versus North Carolina. You guys have won a lot of road games this year. What is it about the mental makeup of this team that's allowed them to have so much early success away from Newborn? And we know road wins look very good on
Yeah.
the resume once that calendar flips to May in the postseason.
Yeah, I think, routine, consistency, just our preparation is what I think allows us to feel comfortable on the road. And so from that standpoint, like we're going to approach, whether it's the road or at home, we're going to approach each opponent the same way from a preparation standpoint. And then when they get to game day, like go be who you are. Go be who you are, swing the bat with intent, play to your level. And obviously that's some coach speech, but at the end of the day, like they've been bought in and it's fun to see. So yeah, I'm excited for the opportunity to get out here, another road test. And we've been on the road since Tuesday or Monday, and so we're definitely ready to play some conference games. But I think they've just done a great job of being bought in, and we've got a ton of upperclassmen, so they understand the grind, they understand the assignment, and excited for another ACC weekend.
Yeah, roadshow continues for Georgia Tech softball all this weekend at North Carolina. Like we said, 58 home runs, fourth most in Division I. Look out below when Aileen Morales and the Yellow Jackets take the field, in particular when they are at bat. Aileen, thanks so much for joining us here on Tech Talks presented by EGP Document Solutions.